That's definitely a vibe. No, that's the vibe. 86.5 if you ask me. This is the Fireside Chat with your boy JC
And Shade.
and his boy Shade, and we're coming to you live out of Shady Grove. Speaking of Shady Grove, we have orders from the top. That's right. Our producers have something that they feel like they need us to share. So Shade, could you please...
So, the producers mentioned to me that we're getting actually a really decent number of views. In fact, our highest so far is topping around 60, which is not bad for only having 4 videos. But we only have 5 likes and 10 subscribers. So you guys need to subscribe and like so that we can continue our content.
He said
According to the
you need
producers.
to. Listen, guys, you need to in the same way you need to wear your mask, okay? It's the only way to keep you safe.
To keep you safe.
No, I'm just messing with you. Our producers are giving us a hard time. But yeah, if you could just like and subscribe and join the Shady Gang, we would love to have you. Maybe have you over to Shady Grove one of these days. Who knows? That being said, Shade, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's great to hear. I don't think you're going to be doing good when I hit you with the news.
What happened?
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. From the Toronto Blue Jays said that they might call him Vladimir Guerrero Jr. around the country. But in the city of New York, they just call him Daddy. Around the rest of the country, they call him Vladdy, but in New York, they call him Daddy. The Blue Jays are about to get y'all again. How you feeling? Down go those Yankees. Like,
the Yankees are gonna be okay. This
those
is one game.
those Bankies. It's about to be 2 games. Like, one game was yesterday.
Where are they at right now? Are they?
They're in New York. Vladdy
No,
said,
what
"Call
are they
me
doing right
Daddy."
now?
Like,
What's the score?
Oh, I wonder. I hope I'm not talking trash and the Yankees came back.
Jays are up by 2.
2-0. All right, how about those BJs? Like, what's up? What is?
right.
I want to know what's Abby right now. Like, what is Abby? Like,
All right.
no,
okay, we're at the top of the 6th.
With you. Like,
We've got time.
You got time. Like, all right. Let me stop bothering you about that and harassing you. And how's your gallon going? How's stretching?
I think today might be the only day I might, or at least so far, that I might actually complete the gallon challenge. I'm at about 6 right now. There's still enough time in the day to get 2 more in.
That's wild. You're ahead of me. I think I'm at like 4.5.
Oh wow.
I'm at 4.5 ish. Like,
I've had a good day today.
A great day, it sounds like. And speaking to all of you all, I hope you all had a great day. And if you didn't, I just want to let you know tomorrow is going to be better. Tomorrow might not be tomorrow the next day. It just means you have better things in your future than what's going on right now. Your future is looking up, okay? And, you might not be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But the beautiful thing is there is an end of the tunnel. And so with that being said, I'm going to hit y'all with the quote of the day. And the quote of the day actually isn't a quote at all. It's an Instagram post.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. And it's about how people struggle with anxiety internally. And it's about how, we should, take the time to see how each other is doing. And, just make sure that people are okay. So it's called What You See, What I Feel. What you see, always on time. What I feel is an instant tummy ache if I think I'm going to be 1 minute late. What you see is strong work ethic. But what I feel is a fear of being fired over the littlest thing or disappointing my boss. What you see is always in control, but what I feel is like something will go wrong if I don't do everything myself. What you see is that I'm good at planning, but actually it's that I need to be prepared in case A, B, or C happens, or maybe even all of the above. What you see is that I'm always organized, but I have to be organized so I don't get overwhelmed and melt down. You think I'm super helpful, but if I say no, I think that they'll think I don't care about them. What you see is zen and relaxed. But the truth is, if I don't meditate, do yoga, and breathe, I'll lose it. What you see is that I'm self-assured. But that's me just trying to tell myself not to listen to anxiety. You got this. You got this. You got this. What you see is calm and composed. But what you really don't know is that I just finished crying in the bathroom, telling myself, you got this. And so that's the quote of the day.
Wow. It's powerful.
You see one thing, but you can never imagine the storm raging within. And so just do your best to be there for each other, ask each other how you're feeling. And like I said the other day, if you're on the other end, it's okay to say the words help. In the words of Winnie the Pooh, that's the bravest thing you can say. And so, moving on to stock talk. The stocks were terrible today. They were absolutely atrocious. So much so that I'm not even going to dignify it giving out any plays or telling y'all to look into anything. But the stock is a long-term game. And what I will say is it looked terrible from the outside. It looked terrible to your everyday person. But a wise man once told me that the stock's looking terrible, that's not actually what it is. It's called the stocks are going on sale. Zoom was $510 yesterday at one point. You can get it for $475 now. If you don't think it's going to go back up, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Apple was at $125 a couple weeks ago. It's at $110 now. You can get it for the cheap. I remember Disney this summer was at $90, and I think Disney's at $140 right now. But Disney dropped from $110 to $90 and then went back up to $140. And so it's at one something. The point is, it ain't $90 anymore to get into Disney. And so, the stocks are on sale. I'm sure they'll recover. But today was a terrible day. Today, I opened it and at 10:30, I was like, I can see I'm hemorrhaging money, like wicked bad. But like I said, it's a long-term game. And so I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I've talked myself into giving y'all some advice. Think electric vehicles. They're the future. So much so and so soon that gas vehicles, the sale of gas vehicles is going to be illegal in California in the year 2035.
Really?
Really, really.
Wow.
Thoughts on that, Shade?
That's awesome.
We were talking about all that environmentalism yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
Gavin Newsom said, I got you, big fella. Instead of shaking DeSantis's COVID-infested hand, you can shake my hand. Like, I wear a mask and I use that antibacterial soap.
There you go.
Because I don't think Governor DeSantis washes his hands.
Well,
either.
some people are doing stuff right. That's all I got to say.
Some people are doing stuff right. That being said, some people are unfortunately doing stuff wrong. And, I don't know. Obviously, nobody ever wants to talk about it. Nobody ever wants to see it. But, especially see it happen the way it did. And for everything to play out the way it did. And to know, that's the best Breonna Taylor got. I say this much. She's resting in peace now. And a lot of people take that for granted. But the truth is, while we're down here fighting for justice, and we should be fighting for justice, don't get me wrong. But, I, as a Christian man, I believe she's singing and dancing with the king. Some people who, if you're atheist, you believe, or whatever you might believe she's reincarnated. She's, a kid somewhere or a baby somewhere just being born. You might believe that, it's the end of consciousness when you die and she's seeing black. But the point is homegirl ain't suffering no more. And so, that's the only good thing about it is, and that's been the truth for a long time. But no, the tough matter of facts are, legally speaking, this was the law. This is literally the law. You want to change the law, you have to elect people who want to change the law. So I don't want to sit here and use this terrible, what feels like a terrible miscarriage of justice as, hey, get out and vote. But no, if this disgusted you, get out and vote because it's going to happen again. Let me tell you something. Yesterday's laws can't provide today's justice. I repeat, yesterday's laws cannot provide today's justice. They will not provide today's satisfaction. That's the truth today, and that's the truth tomorrow. So you'll either elect people who change the law, or you'll continue to be disgusted. You'll continue to watch as Black lives, quite frankly, don't matter. Like that's like the clear message I got from Breonna Taylor. Oh, why are you guys saying Black lives matter? All lives matter. Are you kidding me? That's the best we can do. We're going to charge him for missing? They shouldn't have charged him for missing. Like, that's just disrespectful. Like, regular people looking at that are like, dang, you couldn't get them on anything, but you got them on missing.
Yeah.
The neighbor's walls are worth more than a Black life.
Well, I think you're right. We need to fix the law. That's really, at the end of the day, what needs to happen.
Yeah. And so that is what it is. I mean, it's not what it is, but in the sense, like, let's make sure that the next Breonna Taylor gets justice. Let's change the laws. Go out and vote. Right now, Joe Biden, based on the polling numbers, and I know a lot of people think that polling is whack, blah, blah, blah. Trust me when I say polling is fine. You didn't pay attention to polling properly in 2016, and that's why you were surprised with the result you got. The tough matter of facts are Hillary won the popular vote, which is exactly what a general election poll tells you. This is the percentage of people in the country who are going to go for this person. And then, when it came down to the individual states, Trump was always close and always within the margin of error. And Hillary took that kneel, and then, a lot of people are like, oh, the polls, but the tough matter of facts are, everybody forgets James Comey came out and told everybody she was going back under investigation on a Friday, and the election was on a Tuesday. So trust me when I say the polls are fine. And the polls say good things for Joe, but we can't get cocky. No, what we need to do is we need to send a message. We need to send a message that the current Republican Party in its current format has no place in America, not now and not going forward. They need to change. Parties change, they rebrand themselves, they refocus. The Republican Party needs to get away from they're under Trumpism now. They need to, like, there was, Bush Republicanism, Reagan Republicanism, which they all fall under the same brand of, conservatism in a lot of ways. But no, this Republican Party needs to be beaten into a pulp. And Joe, right now, the polling numbers indicate that, if just a few more people can come out and vote and do the right thing, it could be an electoral landslide. You could see you could see the Democrats increase their House majority. You could give, Joe Biden control of the Senate. And I'm not a Joe Biden fan. I think that was misconstrued yesterday. I'm not a Joe Biden fan. Well, what I do know is that there ain't much right about this Trump guy. There ain't much right at all. And oddly enough, he got booed today going to pay respects to RBG.
No.
Yes,
he got
did.
Booed?
Oh, yeah, they booed. And they said, I couldn't hear whether they were saying lock him up or vote him out. It sounded like they were saying both, but I don't know. Shane, thoughts on that?
Disrespectful. I'm actually surprised. I guess not in the sense that, like, I can see why people would boo him, considering the fact that he's trying to replace RBG, and he's not exactly being the most respectful person right now, or ever. However, you can't boo someone at a formal like event. Like that's just not cool. There's a lot of booing going around though. I
There is.
think you said.
I'm gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that next.
I was gonna say you said something about
There's a lot of
the
booing
lieutenant
going around.
governor as well getting booed.
Yeah,
A
I was
lot of
gonna
booing
say
going
a lot
around. I
of
don't know. I think
foolishness.
people are getting really kind of antsy. I guess would be the word.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what's going on. How could you not? So, I don't know. I don't condone it, but I see why it happened.
You know, there's a part of me that says booing was wrong. They should have showed respect. It was, I guess it was, supposed to be a formal, thing and coming together. And there's a part of me that says that, but then there's a larger part of me that says Donald Trump is showing up there to pay his respects, but he can't respect her final wish. No, that's the truth. Donald Trump, like you said, that was disrespectful. When has Donald Trump respected anybody?
Yeah, exactly.
He still talked about John McCain, and he's gone. And then remember, he said Debbie Dingle's husband was looking up from hell.
Wow. Did he say that?
Yeah,
no.
he said that. And so my point is you can have a bunch of
But he's
Republicans on here, a
definitely
bunch of
rude.
snowflakes listening who are like, yeah, like they booed him and that was wrong, and they should have showed our president more respect. Our president doesn't show himself respect. He doesn't show the office respect, and he doesn't show anybody respect. The American people, the media, none of it.
Yeah, but
And so,
two wrongs don't make a right kind of a thing. I think that's the only side argument there.
Okay, and I will agree with that. Two wrongs don't make a right, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say he shouldn't have been there, but like, same thing with the John Lewis funeral. Like, you spent your entire time. See, that's why I feel bad for him to some extent. He had to go. But even in the case of John Lewis, like, you spent your entire, the remainder of John Lewis's life since you've gotten office has been the two of y'all button heads. You never showed him any type of respect or decency. It even took, it took the media to get him to tell John Lewis rest in peace. John Lewis died, and he kept tweeting about other stuff, talking trash. And then the conversation in the media became, is the president not going to say rest in peace to the civil rights icon John Lewis? And then eventually he was like, oh, yeah, I guess rest in peace. Like,
wow.
Rest in peace. And so,
well, yeah, he's not the most respectful person. And so we know this.
And so my point is at this point, I can't sit here and tell people to continue to turn the other cheek, and two wrongs don't make a right. How many times are you supposed to turn the other cheek before you haul off and slap them back? Like, that's what I want to know. And so I'm with you. I don't know that I would have booed. I probably wouldn't have booed. I probably would have joined after everybody else started booing, but I wouldn't have started. No, I wouldn't have started the booing. I will say that much. But when people, like I said, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, I don't think that's good. Then I started thinking about it, and I was like, oh, man, he's never shown anybody else respect. Never.
I mean, again, I can see where people are coming from. I can see why they would boo. Definitely.
So, yeah, so I was like, no, and even now, like the hypocrisy, like he got booed or whatever at her funeral. And, Lindsey Graham came out today crying, saying, he's going to lose his election if he doesn't get better fundraising. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that, actually.
He's talking about how Democrats, how the Democratic candidate is getting a bunch of help from out of the state, and he's not getting any help. And it's like, of course the Democrat is getting a lot of help, Lindsey. You're a giant hypocrite. Like, and you know what's sad is Lindsey Graham used to have character.
Used to have character?
No, Lindsey Graham used to be an honorable. Think about it like this. Him and John McCain were best friends. And then Donald Trump sits there and bashes John McCain while Lindsey Graham licks his boot. And it's sad because, John McCain's wife called him and they talked. And they asked her what she said. And she told him, I understand you're doing what you have to do to keep your seat.
Oh, man.
Lindsey, you've stayed in power long enough that you can reap the rewards now. You have the 6 years. You'll get the health care for life, all the benefits for life. You could let somebody else serve who, quite frankly, you could give somebody else a chance. Another Republican, and give them a chance. It's a safe Republican state. The point is, Lindsey, you should have stood up for what you believe in. And if you look on the other side, so there's Lindsey Graham in South Carolina, there's Tim Scott. When the president retweeted that white power video, Tim Scott came out and said he shouldn't have done that. He should delete it now and apologize. Stood up for what he believed in. You're going to let him, crap on your boy's grave. And so, yeah, of course, Lindsey Graham money is pouring out from outside the district. Shoot, if this podcast ever gets big, I'll be campaigning against you. I'll be stomping the ground in South Carolina for who. I'll stomp the ground in South Carolina for your primary opponent. I'll be like, I don't agree with anything that they say, but at least they're who they say they are. They're not a giant hypocrite. And so, yeah, Lindsey, I'm glad the money's flowing in, and I'm glad it's making you cry. I don't think you're going to lose. I think it's South Carolina. I don't think you're going to lose. I think that's part of the reason he did it. He knows he's not going to lose. I think the initial money being fundraised was a surprise for him. But at the same time, I don't think he's going to lose. That being said, you talked about the
lieutenant governor.
The lieutenant governor booing. You all would not believe this. These are Republicans booing. So we had Democrats booing at SCOTUS. Republicans are booing at a Trump rally in Ohio.
Wait, they're booing themselves.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I guess, there's a rally, right? And the lieutenant governor comes out, to stomp the ground for Trump. Like, you're supposed to be the most popular one in your state, right? And so, or, you're the lieutenant governor. You be the next governor, you're from your state. You're supposed to be popular, blah, blah, blah. And so, the lieutenant governor comes out, and right now, locally speaking, COVID is a big deal for some Republicans, probably 40% of Republicans. I know a lot of Republicans who are like, yeah, it's craziness. I believe in COVID. I'm wearing a mask, social distancing. Screw what you heard. But
science is
you
science.
I was gonna say you have some of them who say science is science. You have some of them who don't. But yeah, you have like a large number, and obviously, as a Republican, you never hope to win the Democratic vote. But in Ohio and places like Florida and Pennsylvania and stuff, what you have is a large number of independents, meaning that the state can swing. And so if it looks like, y'all are handling COVID poorly, you'll be out of office. You're the lieutenant governor. You want to be the next governor, and you need to be the next governor. You're going to have to manage this COVID thing and not let the Democrats come out in, 2 to 4 years and be like, hey, look at what they messed up. Like, they got a bunch of da-da-da-da. And so the point is, he goes out and he goes, I'm trying to make wearing masks great again. And pulls out a red, it's cringy, but he pulls out a red Trump mask. And, these anti-maskers said, we like Trump, but we don't like him. No, that's the truth. They said, we like Trump, but we don't like him that much. I wonder if Donald Trump came out and said, y'all should wear a mask, how they would feel about him. If they would say that it's a betrayal, or if they would say that that's what, that's what our Lord and Savior told us to do.
Hasn't he already come out and say that people need to be social distancing and wearing masks and things?
I think he came out and said something along the lines of it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Right.
But no, he hasn't. I mean, here's the thing. Although, I don't know. I guess I don't. I would nationally mandate masks.
I think it's a good move.
I think it's unfair to people like in Montana and stuff and like Utah where there's not a lot of people. But I was looking at a COVID map today.
If you're socially distancing, you don't have to be
wearing
a mask.
Yeah, you only have to wear a mask indoors. But no, I was looking at a map today, and all of those low population, the population density is low states. Mm-hmm. Cases are skyrocketing. I said,
no, really?
Yeah, it's like, yeah. The worst place to be right now is like the Midwest with low population.
Really?
It's going up. I was gonna say COVID is going down in 6 states. It's remaining stagnant. It's going up in 22, and it's remaining stagnant in the rest.
Wow.
And
flu season's about to hit.
Yep, flu season's about to hit.
That's going to make it that much worse, people.
He really, really tried to get them to wear masks. And They said, "No, sir, we won't do it." Like,
Wow.
so I do. I wonder if Trump came out and said y'all should wear masks if they would do it.
Well, he better come out and say
Like,
that soon. Like,
I don't think he has to. I think at this point in America, I think America, like
you'd
I
rather
had,
us just
well,
like what
I had
die?
somebody,
Why?
that was listening. One of our listeners, they messaged me and said, "Well, Trump isn't all bad. He created a lot of jobs." There's a lot of people who look at it like that. Trump can make jobs, and you know what? Trump has been pretty good to the stock market if you've
He
been
has been.
following. And so you have some people who are like, I'll bite the bullet. Like, let me go on. You have a bunch of people who say, let me bite the bullet for that Republican bread. Like, they're going to cut my taxes. Like, the stock market's going to, and they're not thinking about anything else. I had one of my friends tell me, oh, blah, blah, blah. Trump is cutting taxes, so he's gonna, my dad is gonna be able to retire sooner, So I voted for Trump for my dad, and I was like, you do know he wants to cut Social Security, right? Like that, like kind of like doesn't. You see what I'm saying, Shade? Like
No,
that, like
I
on
do.
one hand, like it helps your dad on another, and so a lot of people they're looking one way, they're looking at the carrot, and they're not looking at the stick behind them, like, and they're not noticing stuff like that. But no, that's all I can really say. A lot of booze going around today. You would have thought it was Valentine's Day the way people were booing, like. But speaking of Valentine's Day, I hear you've got some advice for us.
Oh, okay. The new segment. What should we call
Virtual
it?
dating plus.
Virtual dating plus.
At my school district, there's virtual learning plus, and it's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
good. I feel like the plus, like, it gives people like, okay, we can do this.
To
Like,
me,
this
it
is gonna
sounded
be
like
good.
one of those old school point and click, like Japanese harem games.
Wait, what?
Never mind. But virtual dating plus. All right. Here, let me give that a little. No, I'll chime later. So today I wanted to talk about the perfect selfie for Tinder. So there's a lot of ideas that you can find even on Google that are pretty honestly good. A lot of people say, you want like an action shot and people want this and that or the other, but pretty much the consensus from what I've heard, at least from our area, from women that we've asked and other people that we know, um, the best tips for a good selfie on Tinder. One, you want good natural lighting. Natural lighting apparently is key. That's actually not something that I knew. I've used many kinds of lights, but natural lighting is a hard one to find. You got to do it at the right times of the day. You also don't want to angle higher than yourself. Apparently, at least according to some people, it looks a little try-hardy, and you want it to be more casual. Some other good ideas. Basically, you don't want to do a mirror pic. You want someone to take a picture of you. You probably don't want filters. All kinds of things like that. Basically, not trying to look too forced, not trying to make it look too fake or too edited. You want something kind of, again, natural looking. Natural light, natural angles, all kinds of things like that. The other big thing that I was told from this time is specifically a dear friend of ours. She said that you don't want to be in a picture with multiple people, specifically on Tinder. Other dating sites, maybe, but Tinder specifically, people are sifting through it based on the individual, and they want to know which one you are pretty much immediately. So maybe if it's like another picture of yours, like towards the end, that would be fine, but you want to mainly have pictures of yourself where you yourself are not taking the picture.
Okay. So you started the segment out Tinder selfies, but you're saying that the selfie is actually contrary to Tinder. Is that what you're saying?
Apparently.
Okay. I was gonna say, well, that is something. That is something. That's some good advice. I was gonna say there was one thing on there. Oh, I was gonna add, if you do have to be in a group picture and you can't crop them out, you can always blur their faces out. Nah, there's some pictures
No.
there's some pictures that are too good. No, I've seen it on Tinder before. There's some pictures you took that were too right not to not be on Tinder. Like,
Really? Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, hey, if it's a good picture, it's a
if
good
it's a
picture.
good picture,
and you know
go
when
on and
it's a
blur
good
their
picture.
go on
Yeah.
and blur their faces out. Like if you know the picture is worth it, go on and make that happen.
No, I think
Like,
that's fine advice.
dandy
That's
advice.
solid.
Okay. That being said, discussion question for all of you. And yeah, I gotta know. What's the best place to get a schmurger around here?
A schmurger?
A schmurger. It's different than a burger. See, a burger you just eat and it's whatever. You get a burger from McDonald's. A schmurger is a burger that makes you shake your head because of how dandy it was. About how you know the itis
Of
is
course
coming
it
for
is.
you. You know the itis is coming for you and it's only a matter of time. You just shake your head. You say, well, it's over. Like, you never done that shit? You never had a meal
I
and then been
definitely
like,
have.
and been like, dang, now I'm going to go to sleep. And it's 1:30 in the afternoon. Crap. Like,
Yep.
So, yeah, I want to know what the best place to get a schmurger is. If you have any advice, please let us know.
I've heard some good things about Smash Burger recently.
Smash
I've never
Burger.
been personally.
I'm out here talking about burgers. We didn't talk. Did we talk about fitness at all? Like, I'm sorry. We shouldn't be talking about schmurgers right now.
Making me hungry.
Okay. Moving on. So, Xbox, the new 1 terabyte storage for the next gen.
1 terabyte of
It's
storage.
going to be 1 terabyte.
Wow.
It's going to cost $220. Shade, thoughts on that?
Wait, the whole system?
No, just the memory
Oh,
card.
I was gonna say. Well, yeah,
$220
It's 1
for the memory
terabyte?
card, and the
That's not
system
right.
itself is $300.
I think right now, I want to say the going rate that I saw was like
Or is the
150 for a terabyte. So 250, they're upcharging quite a bit
220, yeah, I was
at
gonna
that
say.
point. Oh, 220?
No, low key. They're making power moves though. They just announced that Microsoft is looking to buy more studios,
More studios?
like how they bought Bethesda Games. That's a
Oh,
studio.
really? Yeah, okay.
I'm telling you guys, they're gonna get Batman to rival Spider-Man.
They might.
Batman is gonna be an Xbox exclusive. They're gonna run Batman, Halo. You know what Xbox should do to be petty? They should say, Sony, you want to be petty? We'll be petty. We're taking Minecraft back.
We're taking
Minecraft ain't coming to
Minecraft.
the PS5.
Do
Like,
people still
and
play
neither is
Minecraft?
Terraria. You should do, excuse what? I get on Minecraft like once a quarter.
Once a
But
quarter.
it's a good listen.
I
It's a
probably
good
do
quar-
once like
Nah.
a quarter as well.
I was gonna say you pour yourself a little glass of wine.
Yep.
You know, get on some Minecraft, work on some stuff. You
Yes,
have
sir.
yourself a very chill, very relaxed night.
Yep.
You couldn't even be mad about it.
No,
Like,
I'm working
I was
on a
gonna say,
castle.
some of the time I was gonna say some of the time you be on Call of Duty, running around. That's
Yep.
nice.
You know that's true.
But I was gonna say, oh, that's great. But lovely change up. So yeah, Microsoft is looking to acquire more studios. So they feel like their stock is going up, and yeah, they said they're ready to charge you $220 for 1 terabyte of storage because apparently you're gonna need it. They're buying all these games. You might really need it. But
I've got about a terabyte of storage on my computer for my hard disk, and I'm almost completely done with it. And I've only got probably maybe 30 games, 40 games on my computer right
30
now.
or 40 games on my PlayStation. I have 1 terabyte, and I have like 15 games, if that.
Oh wow,
And,
yeah,
and it's upsetting. No, because you have games like Call of Duty is 200 gigabytes
yeah,
itself.
exactly.
Like,
It's insane.
come on now, like slap your neck.
I had to
Like,
get rid of my Call of Duty.
That's what I'm saying.
that
Call
exact
of Duty
reason.
said we're gonna be your one and only, big fella. You never thought you could have a committed relationship with a video game, but here it is.
Yeah.
It's me, myself, and I. It ain't gonna be nobody else. Like 200. Come on now, 200 gigs, and if you get GTA, Red Dead, and Call of Duty together, that's over 2/3 of your storage right there.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. But no. So, Shade, I don't want to spring anything on you because I know, if you're looking at the list,
The docket.
I was going to say, if you're looking at the docket, this should be the end of the episode. However, I saw something on the way over here I had to bring up. I am absolutely done with college football. From today going forward, I'm not going to commit to never watching college football for this year, but I am absolutely done with the foolishness, the tomfoolery. Now, today on the way over here, it said Pac-12 football is returning in November amid pressure to Trump. Returning in Trump
Wait,
might not
this
even,
November?
Trump might have lost the election. Yeah, I was going to say in November. Trump might have already lost the election. Like, you're going to sit there and send those kids out there and you ain't paying them nothing, but you definitely get them sick, you know. Wow. I was going to say, remember we talked about that Ohio State report with folks having heart problems after. They're discussing whether they should play or not.
Wow.
So you can go out there and ruin their careers. And the messed up part is the Pac-12. The players, I think, might end up going against it because they started to organize before. They started to organize for Black Lives Matter, racial justice, COVID. They were one of the early, like them, the WNBA. They were doing their thing. And so I wonder if the Pac-12 will actually come back. But regardless, I'm here to say I'm done. You don't want to pay the players. Like, that's like a big fight. Like, oh, we're not going to pay them. We're not going to pay them. But you're going to have them play football games while their universities aren't open. Think about it. The university itself is closed. But the football has to go on. And you know why? Because football grosses so much money for some of these institutions that they can't survive if they don't play these games. They can't survive without that football paper. And so, yeah, but your institution can't survive without the football paper, yet you're going to sit there and, like I said, use these kids up like a sponge, give them fake classes like at UNC, like they're giving out, they got exposed for paper classes, but it's that way everywhere. They don't really take classes or anything. I was helping.
Well, they could.
They probably could if they wanted to, yeah. But nobody's advising them in that way. And then all the hours you have them put in college football, it's like, could they get a job? Like, what if they told you, hey, coach, I got to work 40 hours a week, and I'm going to take this real class. So I don't know how much time I'm going to have for football, but you can have what's left.
Well, that's why the point is to make it big, just like in anything.
The point is to make it big. But like I said, playing college is making it big.
It is.
You look at Michigan, you look at Penn State. No, it absolutely. They have bigger stadiums in college. Some college stadiums are bigger than NFL stadiums.
Yeah, but the paychecks aren't.
I was going to say, no, the paychecks for the coaches are.
Oh, for the coaches, yeah.
The players, they refuse to pay the players. But, like, I don't know that the players would get paid more. I highly doubt it.
No, they wouldn't.
I think at the big schools, like, if you look at, like, just the SEC, I think maybe the pay at some point would rival, 10, 20 years down the road because, as the players organize, because you have to remember in the NFL, 30 years ago, they weren't paying them nothing.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes today is making more than everybody in the NFL combined 30 years ago, like 30, 40 years ago. And so once they organize and they start to get their fair share, like places like Bryant-Denny Stadium, and I think that's Alabama's and Death Valley and LSU, like places like that, like you get your fair share of that money, that ESPN money, that we're on national television every Saturday money, that we have a stadium of 80 to 90,000 people money, and that's the thing about college football. Those stadiums are filled up, whether the team is good or bad. It's about school pride, and everybody is there. Alumni are there. Alumni are donating, and so then you got to remember
it's a whole cash cow.
You got to remember if you let them do endorsements, like college towns and stuff, like Tuscaloosa, like everything revolves around the college, the bars, the restaurants, all of that.
Yeah,
you have a player come in and say, "Yeah, for a couple thou, I'll do a little commercial for you. Like I'll do that car commercial for you. My name's Tua Tagovailoa." And this is Alabama Cars. Like, my name's Joey Burrow, and this is Ma's Crab Shack, or Pa's Crab Shack. Like, I don't know. The point is like you could let these folks make some money. And at least, you know what I'll say? At least it would be worth it. But right now, like, you don't offer college athletes the compensation and you don't offer them the protection for them to be out there, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Like in the NFL and all these other leagues, they're testing them every day. And the difference between the NFL and baseball and the other leagues are they're in a bubble. But I just don't know. A lot of people would tell you COVID is fake. So maybe I don't know anything. That being said, if you like the video, if you like what we're saying, that's all we got for you today. But if you like, you subscribe, you'll definitely hear from us again tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be doing a lot of football talk going into the weekend. Unfortunately, none of it will be about college. None. That's one thing I can guarantee. I'm not going to give them the time of day on here at all, except for when Notre Dame gets clowned by Clemson. All right. I just want to leave you all with, you all are beautiful, you all are smart, and right now you're trying, the person next to you is trying. Keep trying and keep trying for each other. We're all in this thing together. Democrat, Republican, black, white. You're my neighbor. That's your neighbor. You're their neighbor. You should love your neighbor. Good night from Shady Grove. 86.5 The Vibe, Fireside Chat.